Well, good morning, adventure seekers. How are we today? Hope you guys are doing pretty good. Leo here, and we got a little adventure for you guys today. I'm out here. I'm up at a friend's place, actually. Little campground I know up by Mate One. Hatfields own it, as in, feud Hatfields. Chancey Hatfield and Hank and Jamie runs it, good friend of ours. But anyway, it's supposed to be hot today. It's supposed to be mid 90s somewhere, full sun, miserable hot. Sounds like a good time to go camping. You can't let the weather dictate that kind of stuff. So I'm cheating a little bit. Last time I used my ice tent and put a brown tarp over it to insulate it. Problem was, the brown caused, radiational heating, and the inside of the tent, the front of the air conditioner was fine. The rest of it's a little bit on the warm side. As long as you're near the business end of it, you were fine. But if you move to the other end of the tent, that's a different story. So I'm going to try to reflect some of it today and see if that works. Brought me a new toy. Brought a couple new toys, actually. I got something new that I want to show you guys. Something really cool. Cool little gadget that I brought. Not this one, different gadget. But I just got that one almost ready. Still waiting on some parts. Some of y'all may have, seen pictures of it. Still waiting on my intake manifold to put my pretty carburetor on it. And chrome air pod and all that good junk. And waiting on my exhaust manifold header so that I can take my exhaust around and go down the other side, expansion chamber, and chrome tip. But she's running well enough to take it for a ride and bring it out for a little trip. She's half power right now. Once I get it tuned and get it finished, she will be a nice little beast. But either way, we're not quite ready for that just yet. It's early. I got out bright and early this morning before I was actually loading stuff in the truck, getting ready to go. It wasn't even daylight yet. But we are here. And right there is home for the next day. For the next 24 or so hours, 30, whatever. That will be home. Right here will be home. And like I said, I've got a new gadget too that I want to show you guys. A company called Bodega contacted us and wanted to send us some camping gadget. It's something for camping that I think a lot of y'all will like. I do believe. But anyway, I guess I need to get my butt to work because it is going to get incredibly hot, incredibly fast. Well, I've got the tent up and got my sunshade on it, and just in time too. The sun is officially cleared the trees, and it's doing its thing. Of course, everybody else has been out in the sun for a little while, but I guess I chose well. A little bit of extra shade. Of course, I'll pay for it this evening. No, actually, sun should go down behind that big tree right there. And we'll see. We shall see. But anyway, like I said, I got my sunshade up. I could have brought the camper. Let's be real. Could have brought the camper, but where's the fun in that, right? Where's the fun in that? Where's the challenge? Let's try something experimental while we're at it. But I've got the silver one on. Hopefully it should reflect some of the heat, some of that radiant heat the top of it's black, so it would soak it up really well. Hopefully that will reflect some of it. And I've got the AC running inside. Go ahead and get it started. Try to keep it semi-cool anyway. But either way, I should be set up for a really fun day. Looking like it, ain't it? Looking as though. It's just one day. I'll be packing up to leave tomorrow, but You can squeeze a lot into a day if you try. It can most certainly be done. But I got baby right there. I ain't got it off the trailer yet. Now I can't call it baby. The UTV's named baby. But here's what I wanted to show y'all. We got an email from a company called Bodega, and they asked if I might be interested in showing one of their. Well, it says it's a cooler, but it's technically a refrigerator. It's shaped like a cooler, you know, for convenience and, you know, add a few features, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But y'all know how I like to, you know, I like to bring my toys when I go camping, you know, and TVs. And, you know, I got the TV in there already. It ain't hooked up, but it's in there. And, you know, just bring toys, have things to play with, you know, while you're camping. And I guess now we can add a refrigerator to our repertoire. I think I said that right. Let's see. Oh, look. They even put my supplies in there and froze them for me. That's awesome. I just set it in there to keep it cool till I got here, till I could get it hooked up. It looks really good. It's a big old box. The cooler ain't quite as big as, you know, I think it's what, 32? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But right now I just want to get him dug out of there. It's supposed to have all kinds of really cool features and stuff. So yeah, I can't wait to play with it and see what it does. See what and all it can do. But it's supposed to, like, you know, most coolers like these, I've seen these 12-volt coolers. I used to have one, and they'll chill pop, you know, that kind of thing. Soda, pop, sorry. Hillbilly, remember? Pop, we call it pop. Anyway, it'll chill sodas. But this thing can go well below freezing. This can actually freeze things. So yeah, you could use it as a freezer if you want to. It's even got a Bluetooth somehow. I'm not even sure what the details are on it, you know, yet. This is as far as I've gotten so far. I opened it up, dropped the frozen stuff down in there, and closed the lid back. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet to look at it. So yeah, add a refrigerator to our list of toys here in a little while. It's starting to get warm. I got a great way to cool down though. Not a real good way to cool down. And I'm gonna run all over town and just zip all over the place. I rode another one, the blue one. Had a blue one, but you know, I gutted a lot of it to, you know, build this with the exhaust and all that kind of stuff too. But this should have a whole lot more power. This is like twice the power that my blue one had. I like it. I like it. I had a mountain bike before, had suspension, but the other one, the blue one, it's a beach cruiser, and it has no suspension of any kind, and it rides like, well, it rides like a 2x4 basically. This should ride quite a bit better. I'm looking forward to doing some jumps on this puppy. She should be ready to go, ready enough anyway. We're definitely going to get really close to triple digits today. So, you know, just whatever it does is what you got. You know, the other time I had the dark tarp on it, and like I said, it was comfy in front of the air conditioner. As long as you were near the business end of the thing, you were fine. But if you got down on the other end of the tent, you know, you could definitely feel, it wasn't blistering hot, but you could definitely tell a difference away from the AC. But I guess that's all that matters, ain't it? You got a cool spot to go chill out and retreat from the heat and cool off for a little while. That's the main thing, right? All right, let's get the cooler in there, get it hooked up, and get the bike unloaded and continue on with setup. I'm almost set up and just about ready to run with it. Okay, well, it would appear as though I have made myself a nice little home out here. It's warm outside. It's 90 outside. Look at that. It is snugly warm. The sun is just baking everything out there. But we seem to be okay right here. This is a good spot to be. It's really nice and cool. Right here, this will kind of spoil you on camping. Having an air conditioner right beside your bed will kind of spoil you. And you know what I mean. But yeah, it works. And the silver top seems to be helping. I've got it covered pretty good. And I noticed when the sun was on this earlier, you could feel the heat. But it seems to be the mid part of the day, the hottest part, seems to have the maximum coverage, and don't really see much sunlight on the tent itself, just a little bit right there. Let's see. No, not much, just a little tiny bit there and a little bit over here. But yeah, nice little setup so far. Everything's working pretty well. The cooler, check this out, y'all. Excuse me. USB port. I thought that was cool. You can set the temperature right here for anything you want. -4. You just watch this. Side by side going by. Look at that. -4, and turn it into a deep freeze. And of course we don't want to do that. We don't want to freeze our stuff. But you can run this on 12 volt or 110. It'll run on either one. Let's see, about 36. Just a few degrees above freezing. That ought to work. Got my, get out of my own light. Got my squash in there for later. Bit of Jello. Look at that, half a rack of baby back ribs. Just waiting. And got some water in there and some Gatorade. Snacks, you know how it is. But yeah, I like that. It's really, it's convenient. Very convenient. Just roll it off. Little refrigerator. That is nice. And you can run this, I could run this on the power bank or the 12 volt battery or 110, house current like it is now. And I noticed it in the owner's manual, it had different modes, like maximum right here. And there's also, I'll let that one get done. Right there, eco mode. So you don't, kill your battery if you're using it off the battery on your car, which I wouldn't do that anyway. I would have its own thing, a little power bank or a little 12 volt battery. When I'm out primitive camping, using 12 volt, you just hook it to that. But that is really nice. I like that. Thank you, Bodega. Very much appreciate you guys. I like it. I very much do. It's about the right size. I think it was 32 liter. Yeah, very nice. Could take some real groceries in that thing, couldn't you? I mean, you don't have to worry about going to get ice or anything. And you could take some real stuff in there and leave it, frozen if you want to. And get ready to go somewhere. You unhook the power, everything's still frozen, and there you go. You know how I cook stuff all the time. I try to take, Heather something, when I fix these weird elaborate dinners, these meals out here camping and stuff. I try to take Heather some, but it's always you never know. In the winter it's easy. It's easy in the winter, you just let it freeze. But in the summertime, not so easy. But there we go. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be using this thing quite a bit in the near future. Looks good too. Looks cool looking, But more on him. Well, I'm sure we'll revisit this as we go. But like I said, everything seems to be fine. I'm getting ready to load up on the bike and go for a little ride. Got it sitting right outside my door. Got some neighbors moved in, and this group here moved out. They just left. But look at the river. Nice little spot, isn't it? Got the river right down there. Nice big beach. You know, little pebbles and rocks and junk, and just walk all the way up through there. There's a nice deep spot right up here too for swimming. I brought my shorts. I got sunburned last time. Got sunburned last time we did that, but it was worth it. It was fun. Hadn't done that since I was young, you know, since I don't know, whatever age. You know, just put on some shorts and go jump in the river. Hadn't done that in a while. It's fun. But anyway, we may visit that. I think we're good. I'm expecting some rain later. They're saying around 5 there may be some rain. So I guess I need to make sure that my tarp is on good and tight. The tent should be, the tent should be fine. I've got it staked all the way around. Normally, if you're expecting wind, you lash these to the ground to keep them from popping in. They can, you know, of course you just push it back out, but still. Pretty day, isn't it? Warm, but it's a good day to get out and do something, you know? Do something like that in particular. And I guess we're just about ready to zip up. We've got the shelter done now. I guess we're just about ready to zip up and go for a ride. Go cool off the fun way. It looks weird, but I don't care. As long as it works, I'm happy. Pretty, isn't it? Good little spot. Well, looky what I found. It's a new little exhibit that the town of Matewan has put in. It's a coal mine, more or less. This actually used to be, if I'm not mistaken, this is the old tunnel to get in and out of town, if I remember right. And speaking of, here comes a train now. Speaking of, but a friend of ours, David Hatfield, has a little store right up here, a little shop. He posted a picture of this. I figured I'd come try to find it while I was up here. Pretty cool. As a coal train would be fairly appropriate right about now, wouldn't it? Watch it be a freight though. I did good. Clutch stuck on me for a second. Thought I was gonna have to turn around and pedal back, but I got it loose. I slapped it. That usually works. Not quite a coal that'll work. Alright, let's get back to riding. It's getting hot here. Not bad for homemade. Back home. That was fun. I covered some miles way down through there and way up through there. And the only problem, when I lock my clutch down, it sticks. Pin's not releasing. And I think I got some oil. Yeah, no biggie. We'll fix it. Well, it looks like I got my clutch fixed, don't it? Didn't have any oil or anything like that, but I did have a little bit of cooking oil. I hit it with a little bit of cooking oil. It jumped right back into place. We're good to go. Thought I'd run out real quick, run up here to the gas station, RC's, just outside town on the Kentucky side, and grab me an ice cream. This is like the last gas station on earth that you don't have to prepay. This is the last gas station on the planet that trusts you. I've said that about this place for years. Alright, let's go get some ice cream. Well, look at my kitchen today. That don't look half bad, does it? That's not a bad looking kitchen, if I may say so myself. It's about 3:30 and it is miserably not cold. That's for sure. It's definitely 100% not cold out here. It's probably alright, about just realistically 92, 95, somewhere in that ballpark. It's miserable out in the sun. Everybody's all in their campers. Don't see anybody outside, just me. But anyway, it's supposed to rain here a little bit later. Expecting some thunderstorms, so I'm going to have to deal with that a little bit later. But for the time being, I figured I probably need to go ahead and get dinner going. And I've got half a rack of baby back ribs, and some brown sugar barbecue. I'm gonna wrap them up and put them on the grill and let them get to doing what they do. I'm not really entirely sure I'm gonna need the propane. I think they could just about bake in just the sunlight. It's pretty warm. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Anyway, all right, back to cooking. See y'all in a minute. We're cooking. All wrapped up nice and tight. Yeah, I've had that grill for a while. It's been on a few camping trips. Okay, let's just let her sit for a while, do its thing. We'll see you shortly. All right, back to my air conditioner. Summer squash. Y'all know how it is. Sometimes you gotta cook on the trailer when it's too hot to cook in the tent. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Got my ribs ready. They're over there staying nice and warm in that barbecue grill out in the sun. As soon as these little critters here get done, it's dinner time. Get these two. There we go. Just for pretty effect. How we doing? Almost. Just about ready. Look at that. I got some of them thin as potato chips. It'll work. That's really good. That is good. Very interesting. Very warm out here. I don't know if I mentioned that. Very warm. Well, it looks like I've survived the heat until dinner time anyway. Dinner is served. It's almost sunset. I can still see, some on the tent over there, but once that's gone, it should cool off pretty quick. But we're all set up here. Got me a nice comfy chair and dinner all set. Got my table set. Got me a movie ready to go. And hang on, I need this kind of red in here. Got me some baby back ribs and some summer squash. The middle batch turned out the best. I kind of scorched. There was 3 batches. The last one got scorched, but we can live with that. The ribs look great. They fell apart when I was trying to take them out of the tin foil. Just literally fell apart on the fork. Can't beat that, can you? Anyway, the weatherman, he's still saying rain in a couple hours, but he's been saying rain in a couple hours all day long. So we'll just assume that he's wrong here too, and which means it will rain, no doubt. But okay, we don't care. Let it rain. If it rains, it rains. It would be nice if it rained right now. I would pay money for rain right about now. But very sweet, very tangy. It's good. That's exactly what the doctor ordered right there. Summer squash. Very good. That is very good. Okay. Well, I'm gonna start my movie up and kick back and enjoy and have some dinner. I'll see you guys shortly. On second thought, laying here in front of the air conditioner, in front of the AC, watching TV. This sounds like a much better idea. Yeah. Just kick back in bed. Don't fall asleep in your ribs. You don't want to do that. It might be sticky. You know, fall asleep in a big plate full of ribs. That might not go over very well. We'll do our best. We'll try to stay awake though. Try not to spill it and get it all over the bed. That would suck just a little bit, wouldn't it? Alright, let's do this. The air feels so much better over here. Yeah, that's nice. Alright, now let's watch a movie. And now have dinner. Well, it finally cooled off enough to where I could have a little bit of a fire. So I went just before it got dark and ran down the riverbank, got some firewood and came back up. But anyway, before it gets too awful late, still a little tiny bit of light in the sky, but before it gets too late for tonight's entertainment, big roaring campfire, Ziploc baggie full of M80s. I think you see where we're going here, don't you? Hang on. Try one first. Okay, one. What? It just burned. Okay. We'll try this then. Whole bag. Are they all duds? I mean, come on. Do they just burn or something? Thought it'd be louder. Okay, that's better. That'll work. What? I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It's somebody else. I didn't do it. Somebody else did that. I'm totally innocent, y'all. I would never do that. Well, you know what they say. If you're going to have a campfire, you may as well light up the whole campground. At least that's the way I heard it anyway. Nice big one going. Of course, you got to keep your distance, but, you know, it's still fun to have a little campfire when you're camping. A big campfire is even better. Well, good morning. About 9 a.m., something like that. Been a really nice morning. Been very quiet. Watching TV, just kind of hanging out, and made me some coffee this morning, and been really nice. Been really nice. Just hanging out, keeping my air going. It's already getting warm, 9 o'clock. Yeah, time to get that cranked up. But it looks as though it's about time. I guess I've waited about as long as I can. Yeah, the sun is up and we are officially in it. There's no more shade left on the tent. It looks like we're gonna have to kick it into high gear and start ripping things apart and get it all packed up and get ready to go. Been very quiet here. I mean, I know there's a few other campers here. There's 3 there, and I think there's 1 more down there. couple of those just stay, you know, they're like permanent, long-term, you know, that kind of thing. Very nice little morning though. Very pretty. But you know it's going to be very, very, very hot a little bit later. Fun little place though. I like to come over here and just kind of hang out. You know, goof off, ride around, do videos, barbecue stuff. Good to have a little place or two like that, you know? Someplace you can just kind of go and kick back and enjoy a little bit. Been a very fun trip. The bike did great. I can't wait till I get the rest of the stuff on. Should be there today, as a matter of fact. Should be in the mail today. Alright, let's get to it. I've got a lot to do, and I'll probably be having to take some AC breaks here and there. Well, it looks like that wraps up another little hillbilly adventure. Of course, this one was just a few feet short of the gates of hell. It was hot, y'all. I ain't lying. Beating a dead horse here, but yeah, it was really, really hot. But anyway, we are all packed up, got everything loaded. Broke a sweat a couple times. Had to jump in the truck, turn the AC on. As far as our little buddy right here, the Bodega cooler, it did awesome, guys. I highly recommend these. The convenience alone, you know, is, to me, you know, it's a cooler, but it's also a refrigerator too. You know, it's about the right size, you know, not too big, too gaudy, or too small. And you can run it, you know, on a battery. You could run it on a power bank. You can run it on your car. You can run it on 110, which, you know, shore power. It's what I was, you know, just run it off that. But I mean, you know, if any of you guys are in the market for one, you know, in the market for something like this, you know, it's that time of year, you know, yeah, I highly recommend it. And we'll leave a link to it in the description if any of you are in the market for one and, you know, would like to get one, and we'll give you, you know, use our discount code and, you know, save you a little bit of money on one of these things. But yeah, I really do like it. I really do. Thank you very much, Bodega. I very much appreciate the refrigerator. I'm sure, I have zero doubt that this little puppy will get all kinds of use. I have no doubt that he will get all kinds of use on the channel. Very nice. But anyway, all right, like I said, I guess we are packed up and ready just about. Okay, wait. Now we are ready to hit the road. Just in time to get caught by a train too. Alright guys, we'll see y'all next time. Hope you enjoyed our little outing, you know, not a real big thing, just a little overnight, but it was fun, you know, had a good time barbecuing and riding the bike, testing it out and stuff. And I get home, I'm gonna do some serious upgrades to it. See, I got my plugs a little loose. I see a little bit of, I'm gonna clean that up, tighten it down. Got a few other things. That's part of my power right there. Part of my power loss right there. Alright guys, I'm out of here. We will see y'all next time. Y'all have a really good day. Try to stay cool. And until next time, Leo out. See you everybody. Thank you for the hospitality, Hatfield's Hideout, Riverfront Cabins and Campground. Chancy, Jamie, and Hank, thank y'all. Very much appreciate the hospitality. Love your campground, guys. Love it. Awesome place. See y'all later.